have to have like a police force. We're going to have to manage the guns that we're not used to managing, and we have no history doing this stuff. Of course, we can take the guns out of there. It's just an example. But, all of this infrastructure and the boundaries, we're going to have to, as inexperienced people, set the boundaries. And if we have to do that, like, what are the chances we're not going to make mistakes that, our, forefathers made hundreds of years ago? And then it became more streamlined and they learned to not make those same mistakes again. But, we're going to start over. So we're going to make those same mistakes because we don't know about the errors that emerge. So then it's like, are we going to actually create a more dystopic reality than the reality that we have here right now? Because I don't know if you've heard about communities forming, but I have heard of many communities forming, and it becomes, psychedelic, like people are expelled because they're not agreeing with the big, godfather of the community, because he wants all the women. And then the women are like, oh yeah, but he's the most powerful one. So we stay with him, right? Because he'll protect us. It becomes tribal, really weird ways sometimes. Other times, other weird things happen. And other times, I think the rarest is the times that it actually works. So I just recently I began to get into a position of being a little bit more cautious when it comes to let's live in a community. Let's buy land. I'll buy land and let's all move to my land. Or let's throw money in a hat together. Let's get some land all together, but it'll be too complicated maybe to put it in all of our names. So
I'll just buy
I don't know. We'll figure something out, but let's do it. It's going to be great. And then some people work more than others, and then the people who work more than the others, they're angry, and the other people are thinking, but you're working because you want to work. I don't want to work. Whoa. Like when you have different levels of cleanliness, different levels of seeking quality of life. Wow.
Yeah, it's super complex. It's true.
It's not so easy. Like we think it's going to work so well because we don't have government, because we don't have police, because we don't have this and that.
I want basic things like in my apartment
Tell me,
building.
what do you want?
I want to have someone who can, let's say, create hummus, and I will create kombucha. And then we put that hummus and kombucha in a place, maybe one apartment out of all of these apartments, that everyone can go and take it. And then I can take what I want, like salt or water. Everyone just brings whatever they have extra of, and becomes the economy of less waste. That's kind of a simple thing. Like, why am I struggling to do it where I live? It's because I don't speak the language, and I'm coming from a very different culture. In New York, would I have done it at this moment? I would. I would create like a mini board of the building from my own perspective, and see who wants to do things that I offer to do, and see how I can organize. I mean, what I'm saying is leadership is important. The question is when it comes into a situation in a way that is culturally appropriate. These are the questions I'm asking now that I'm in the EU. Do you have any answers on how to be leading but not push, and create a vision of your own that also brings other visions together? Quite general.
I don't think I do, actually. I think the only way to get there is to, find people and try. And then, with this person it works, with that person it doesn't. Okay, let's bring in someone else. Let's try with you. I feel like it's a guess and check experimentation process. Of course, we could develop a questionnaire to begin with to select the people, but still, I don't think any questionnaire has the capacity of being foolproof. So we would still need to follow some sort of, experimentation in any way. And I feel like, putting out what you want to do and asking for feedback is a very important thing, and be able to listen to the feedback. One thing that I feel happens a lot of the times is people react too quickly rather than digesting what just happened. And different people have different times of digestion. Some people are like, come on, give me feedback already. And we're like, oh, okay, hold on. I need more time. And sometimes we're ready sooner. So I think that this is a very important aspect, feedback at the right time. And, the other aspect is just having authenticity in communicating and understanding that we all want the best. And if we find somebody who doesn't really want to harmonize, then we need to kick that person out. It's kind of simple. And there needs to be ruthlessness. And, it could be that it's just not the right place for them. It could be that they're not a bad person. It's just not the right place for them. So they need to leave, and then they need to find another place.
Or not the right time in that place.
That's another possibility, yeah. But it needs to be like, the decisions need to be made. And this is why there needs to be either one person who is the absolute rule, or, there are a few people who are the absolute rule. It becomes a big problem when there's like 40 people who are the absolute rule,
I see.
Yeah. We know that the best government in the world is like a leadership by one, right? Dictatorship. It's the best form of government if the leader is a good leader. Because, decisions can be made quickly. If it's a good leader, an intelligent leader, the right choice is always made. But of course, this is like a philosopher king. This is in Plato's reality. This is both clear and evident, but it's also, let's say, impossible for mere mortals such as us to actually undertake that position. So then we experiment and we try. And we know that it's going to fuck up at some point. But we also know that we might have a good experience throughout, and even in that difficult time when things don't work out. And we can't run away from the difficult times, because if we do, then we're, not accepting life for what it is.
Yeah, not wanting to deal with the consequences of our actions and choices. Yeah. All right, that's good. Good stuff. Okay, what do we do here? This is the direction I want to take it still into like the event series that we're producing, but also I wanted to see like Gosh, in your opinion on what's happening in the technology world and where we're going. Maybe you can combine these two topics.
I lost your voice for a second. Could you repeat where you're taking us?
Where's technology going?